Hello guys, our first stop in Florida. Guess where we are? I think we are at the Bureau. I don't know, it's so secretive. There's plenty of parking outside. Your GPS actually might tell you to be a little bit before the turn, so just go a little bit forward and you'll be able to see a turn in. It's a travel agency apparently, or is it an actual escape room? I don't know, we'll have to, find out. Let's go in.
What's poppin' and unlocking, everybody? This is Brandon from ESCAPETHEROOMers. We are at the Bureau in Orlando, Florida. Very excited, heard so many great things about this place, and we're finally here on our journey, on our road trip.
Yeah.
I'm standing with Alexis. How are you, Alexis?
Good.
CEO and founder of the Bureau, so we're gonna get to know him a little bit better and the Bureau. First thing I wanna ask you is how many games do you have available for the public right now?
Well, we have 3 different themes and 4 rooms. One is a duplicate.
Is that like a competitive mode? Like, see who gets out first?
It can be, yeah. So we have 2 Dr. Braingoods, that way increase capacity, and also have a competitive mode because people often ask, can we compete? Is it the same room?
Right.
For a long time we were saying, well, it's different, but now we have that option for folks.
Okay. If you haven't noticed, we're standing in front of this crazy mechanism. It just busted through the wall.
This is the Cosmo Multiverse Transducer. It's the first of its kind. It's also the backbone of the Bureau. And when we started in 1946, it was the dawn of the atomic age. But our discovery was not meant for destruction, but instead for exploration. We are connected to a network of universes, some like the one we live in, some not quite like ours at all. But across the multiverse, we assist those that need a helping hand. So, what do you say? Why don't you join us and help us maintain a balance in the multiverse?
It's just, your theming here is just so cool and creative. I want to ask you, what out of all the games you have available, which is the one that gets booked the most by players?
It would probably be Puppet Heist.
Puppet Heist?
Yeah.
We had a great time in Puppet Heist and in Dr. Braingood, 2 totally different types of games.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I want to know from you is, do you build everything? Like, is set design, puzzle design?
We do everything in-house, from the hardware, the software, the set building, the prop, the painting, the carpentry, everything, yeah?
That's so cool. What is an obstacle that you faced that you needed to overcome in any capacity of the creative process?
Yeah.
I know, it's like, you have time.
So if we're limiting it to the creative process and not just coronavirus
right.
stuff last year, it's finding the right people. That's really the big one.
The right people to hire, or for players to? Okay.
The right people to hire. Yeah. It's a lot. Building these games has so many moving parts, and when you're building them for the first time, it's almost like improv, right? Like the planning is everything, but the plan isn't everything.
Right.
So you've got an idea of how things are going to turn out, but you need people who can kind of adapt as you go. And I'm going to need 2 sensors here. Man, you know what? We realized that people could break it if they pull this way, so we're going to need to brace it here. Or we didn't realize that people were going to interact with the puzzle in the way that they do, so we have to change things on the fly.
Right.
And finding the right people that can roll with the changes and kind of keep the energy going rather than go, I need to make another change.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Yeah.
And your games are experiences. They're it's not just an escape room. You're going through it. There's something very cinematic about it, which we really love. So you mentioned COVID earlier.
Yeah.
What is something that you needed to do to make customers feel safe and protected coming back out here?
I think it's pretty much what everybody had done, is make sure we space out games within at least 30 minutes in between, sanitize before and after every game, require masks.
Yeah.
make sure that it's private groups, and that's something that we didn't start out with. We were open a whole 3 weeks, 4 weeks before we closed down, and we were doing public games then, and ever since we've been doing private games, and we think we're going to stick with that.
Well, great. Congratulations on reopening and getting back out there and providing these experiences for these players.
The world-class travel exhibition is headlined by the Hand of Life, often referred to as the Hand. It is an ancient relic that is traced back to the Felt Empire. The Hand harnesses the mystical power of the four beasts. The beast chose King Pup-Tet to be its sole possessor and true leader of the Felt Empire. The hand was stolen from Pup-Tet.
The hand is beautiful, and it's right here. Hello, gorgeous. I can almost touch you. Soon it will be mine, and you will help me get it.
Wait, what?
Yes, you. And the Bureau.
So Alexis, since you've been open, you've probably seen a lot behind the scenes while game mastering or just on the cameras. What is something that you've seen players do in your games that stood out? It could be funny, it could be like, a surprising moment.
Okay, I gotta figure out, there's a distraction that players have to make in Puppet Heist.
Yeah.
And there's one that we thought of that we thought we've left enough breadcrumbs in all the right places for people to figure it out.
Yeah.
But instead of doing that distraction, people instead twerk. Or
that's a distraction. You can't say that's
one or two groups twerk at a character that they needed to distract, or like bang on a window. And we're like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Do something out of the box. We do have puzzles that are out of the box, but we didn't quite expect people to do that.
Right. It won't work.
But sometimes we do make it work.
Okay.
We have the ability to override some puzzles in that instance. So we're like, you know what? They thought that would work. You know what? Props for the creativity. Let's make it work.
Yeah, so, creativity is encouraged. So do whatever comes to mind, whatever you want to try out, see what happens. They might be generous enough to reward you for your twerking.
Yeah.
So the next thing I want to know is, because, like I was mentioning earlier, it's not just an escape room, it's an experience. Like, tell us about your creative process, like the tech, all the things that you implement on what makes the Bureau the Bureau.
Yeah. I think, at least personally, I want to go on an adventure. Like, I want to, go out into the world and do something like, like what you see in movies or in video games. Like, why can't I walk across Middle Earth? Like, why can't I? It feels like in the modern world, like there aren't as many adventures for people to go on. Or I don't know if it's just movies or video games that make it feel like the modern world has lost some of its luster in that respect.
But it also kind of like makes you want more. It's kind of like
exactly. So it's like, well, how do we build an experience that lets you kind of go on this kind of adventure? And so that's really what we want to do, is make life feel like an adventure, feel like you're doing something out of the ordinary, and isn't necessarily about escaping, but accomplishing a goal or living through an experience. Or and so that's what we bring to the experience design. So we think about like what's a classic thing that you would want to do in a movie or a video game or a book, and how do we make that possible?
Right.
Like in a Mission Impossible style sense, or maybe like in Ocean's 11. Like there's always the guy on the team that can like get through small spaces, and like how do we replicate
or hack into
that?
the system and be the eyes and ears.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's what we try to think about, is like how do we recreate those moments without, where we can like wholesale, and then where we like have to like think about it in a creative way, where maybe there's a puppet that can do things for you if you put them in the right place.
A special cameo appearance throughout the game. you seem like somebody that plays a lot of escape rooms. Or have you played a lot?
I've played a decent amount, yeah.
Okay. We want to ask you to give a shout out to a company and a game
Yeah.
that stood out. Doesn't have to be a favorite, just one that comes to mind.
Yeah.
You can give more than one. I know some people are like, oh, this is going to take forever. So whatever game that stood out for you.
Top of my list is Doldrick's Captain Spooky Bones.
Captain Spooky Bones.
Yeah, one of my favorites, yeah.
Yeah, that was on our Player's Choice Award nominee list. And so, how many games have you played? I'm just curious.
Oh Jesus, it's definitely not as many as many enthusiasts have played. I think it's probably around the realm of like 50 or so.
Okay.
Why, hello there, hench peoples. I must say it's quite nice to see such evil faces in the group. Truly a breath of fresh air. Welcome to Braingood Industries. I am the founder, son, Dr. Braingood Jr. I'm the baby. You're going to be a vital part of my next project, a project that will change the world as we know it. As soon as you get here, your training will begin. Until then, poodles. What? Sit. Toodles.
Sorry.
You're good.
Oh, okay. I was actually, you came at the perfect time. I needed something to clear my throat. So wait, you guys provide drinks here?
We do. We have soft drinks. We have alcoholic beverages, beer and wine. So
this is really an experience. I'll have a Coke Zero if you don't mind. Of course. Awesome. Alexis, I have one last question to ask you because we want to get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah.
What is something that most people would not know about you, other than this escape room life that probably takes up most of your time?
Yeah.
What is something most people would not know about you?
I studied archaeology.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that definitely comes in handy with a lot of the, I guess, the immersive Indiana Jones stuff you would bring to the table.
It will, yeah. Mostly kind of focused on like technology side of stuff. So how archaeologists can use technology to like better represent sites and artifacts, augmented reality, projection mapping, that kind of thing.
Wow. So Alexis, thank you so much for having us. We're really excited to get in there and play both of the games. And this is Bobby. He's the general manager here at the Bureau, and he greeted us when we came in, and they're great with the customer service. Actually, not so much greeted us when we came in, because there's a little something that you're gonna have to do once you park your car and try to get yourself in here. But we're very excited to try their two games. Make sure you go to our website, ESCAPETHEROOMers.com. You'll know what we thought of both of the games that we played here, which are
Puppet Heist and Dr. Braingood.
Puppet Heist and Dr. Braingood. And also, do not forget to like and subscribe our YouTube channel, because we're gonna give you a sneak peek of what to expect once you park your car and you come in through the entrance, and then you come into the lobby area, and you know what to expect when you come over to the Bureau. Peace out.
2 hits left for me to use. 1 hit left for me to move. Time is running out, gotta figure something out.